Zack Harrison is catching a lot of eyes with the Atlanta Falcons. What's going on, people? Your boy, man, Mike here, coming at you guys with yet another Atlanta Falcons update. All right, so there's a lot of people wondering what the Atlanta Falcons are going to be like on the front line. We got two young stars in Jalen Walker and Pierce Jr. James Pierce Jr. And Zack Harrison is one of those guys, besides those two, that the Atlanta Falcons are really looking at to step up, and they really believe that he can be that guy to help replace or at least try to fill the shoes of Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett is no longer with the Atlanta Falcons. He signed with the Chicago Bears after the Falcons released him. He's been one of those guys that's been key for us for quite some time, but guys like Zack Harrison is one of those guys that they're really looking at. All right, so this is Nate Ollie. He said we really feel like we can unlock Zack and do a lot of stuff, getting him going off the ball and not thinking, okay, playing free is what he means, and being a mismatch versus tight end. Also, too, we believe Zack has a little bit in his body to win off the edge. So Zack is kind of a utility weapon for the Atlanta Falcons. Also, you have Jeff Ulbrich, right? So there's been some questions of what the Atlanta Falcons are going to be, 3-4, 4-3. He said we look back 15, 20 years ago, there were 3 to 4 teams that were 4-3 teams, and you were one or the other. Ulbrich said it's not that way anymore. Offenses have jumped off the playbook. It's really forced us to, from a defensive standpoint, to get multiplicity in all that we do, front wise, coverage wise, all of that. So we're going to be multiple. All right, we're going to do some unique things that are going to be 3-4-ish and 4-3-ish at times. So again, a lot of people are wondering, this is one of the things that I've said for quite some time, what NFL play callers, these guys doing so much with the pistol formations, the shotguns, spreading teams out. I don't think you can focus on one particular aspect of things, and what wide receiver, the tight ends being that much more athletic, offensive linemen being that much more athletically gifted, and the quarterbacks, they're going to more of a spread style, and just a spread style where the quarterback can move around in the pocket and things of that nature. You're going to have speed and athleticism, and not only in the secondary linebacker, but you got to have that speed and athleticism to be able to match up with the players that are coming out of college. So when you look at the Atlanta Falcons and Zack Harrison, I think Zack Harrison is one of those guys you look at on the defensive front. Obviously, you got Brandon Dorless, you got guys like James Pierce Jr., obviously Jalen Walker, you got guys like Ulbrich. All these guys can do a multitude of things. Now, do you want these guys in coverage a lot? Probably not. But this is a new NFL, man. You gotta have the ability to not only match up with the big fronts. I mean, you got the Philadelphia Eagles, who are one of those teams with a big offensive line. So you gotta be able to have not only the body, the length, as far as your defensive front is concerned, but you got to have that athleticism to go with it. So a guy like Zack Harrison is going to be huge for the Atlanta Falcons. And one of the things I saw with Grady Jarrett, no, he's not a terrible player. Not saying that whatsoever, but he is a little bit undersized. All right, he is a little bit undersized. He goes about 6 feet. And I'm probably being generous that, but he's about 6 feet, 300 pounds, quick as all day. So the guy is gifted, and in this current NFL, when these offensive linemen are getting sold, you getting guys like 6'5", 330 pounds, and these guys can move around. I mean, we have one in Chris Linton, so this is going to be very important. So having a guy like Zack Harrison that you can put on the outside, put in the inside, and he can be a matchup problem for offensive linemen. Like you said in this, they're looking for a guy like Zack Harrison that's going to cause a lot of issues with the tight ends. With his, not only with his athleticism, but his physicality. Now, a lot of teams are using their tight ends on the edge next to their tackles, so their tackles won't get taken advantage of, like most tend to do in certain situations. So having a guy like Zack Harrison that you can flank outside, and you're not losing a lot of athleticism, this is going to be huge for the Atlanta Falcons. So when you got Nate Ollie, you got Jeff Ulbrich, these guys want to do a multitude of things. And like I said, the Falcons, I personally believe the Atlanta Falcons are going to do a lot of things. They want to have a number of fronts, and I think a guy like Nate Ollie, you look at him, what he's been able to do in his career, not only with the Colts, the Texans, and now with the Atlanta Falcons, he's definitely good at developing players. So let me know what you guys think about this Zack Harrison, man. And do you personally believe that he's going to help the Atlanta Falcons? Now that he's going to be able to replace a Grady Jarrett, but do you believe that he's going to be one of those guys, a key part of helping the Atlanta Falcons replace Grady Jarrett? Grady Jarrett has been a wonderful player for quite some time, but we're going to need guys like Zack Harrison to step up and do their thing. Let me know what you guys think about this. This has been your boy, Man Mike, with another Atlanta Falcons video. Hit that subscribe button. I'm out of here, man. Peace.